What's golden, y'all? It's Brian with the Media Room. And so, real quick, I wanted to touch base, and it's been something that I've been talking about the last couple of videos, but I need to really drill into this. I need you to stop blaming your camera for why you're not shooting content. And here's what's really in the way. And I'm doing this to prove something to myself. So, right now, you're going to see multiple cameras that I'm working with. And so, just keep in mind, we're going to watch for the switch. It's coming up. All right. So my mission is to get business owners off the bench, and I want you to start recording. And the one thing that I see between you and consistent content, it's not your camera. It's not your gear. So before we get too far into it, if you're liking this content and you want to see, if you want to participate in my mission of getting as many business owners and whatnot recording as possible, and if you want to really learn what it takes to have a minimum viable video that can work to make money for you, then subscribe to this channel. The Media Room is about teaching people how to use what they got to get started recording. And you don't need the most expensive setup. Okay, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if this aligns with you. Okay, now here's the thing. I have my mirrorless camera is a Sony A6500. It's long in the tooth. It is not a brand new camera. When I copped it originally, it was about 1500, and that was just with the regular kit lens. It's a great camera. It's been my workhorse for years. I've taken it out on actual shoots that I've gotten real money for, which is amazing. Real money is great. But I've taken it out to actually make money, and I've done it with corporate work. I've used it, of course, in the live streaming capacity is what you're seeing right now. And it's a really solid camera. Like, I have no complaints about this camera. I would like to have a flip up screen. I almost upgraded it and traded it in for the A6400 when it came out, but I held on to this because we have this in-body stabilization, and I was doing a lot more active moving around kind of videos. I've changed, baby, I've changed. As my needs evolved, I started looking at other camera systems and other ways that I can deliver the content I needed to without having to carry so much stuff around. And I ended up landing on the Osmo Pocket series. Osmo Pocket 1 came out, and I got that. And that replaced a lot of my workflow with this Sony. Now, I will still break it out occasionally if I got higher end work, but really the Osmo Pocket has done a lot of my heavy lifting. And so I'm saying all that to say this. The mirrorless trap. You invariably, if you follow YouTube and you watch camera content on YouTube, there's always the gang of dudes on here, and not just guys, women too. They sit up here and they review camera tech, which is good. They tell you the specs, they tell you what's coming out, and give you all the camera news and blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. You are getting marketed to in a lot of regards. If you are just starting out as a content creator, and you're looking at getting the practice in and actually building up your skills and things along those ways. The only thing one of these mirrorless cameras is going to do is going to confuse you. There's some that are a little bit more simple to use and they're more geared towards the entry level content creator. Think the Sony ZVE1, ZVE10, I think it's ZVE10. That's one that's more of a content creator's camera. But even then, it's a mirrorless camera. You still got to buy glass, which is lenses. Lenses can cost more than the camera in a lot of cases. You have a bunch of buttons and dials to fiddle around with and screw up your picture. There's a lot of different things that fall into this. And a lot of new content creators, specifically not content creators, because this is for business owners too. A lot of new business owners, when they start creating content, they watch those videos and then they instantly get underwater because these cameras are great. Mirrorless cameras are great. You can produce a lot of high quality content with them, but the learning curve is brutal. And once you start playing the camera game, it gets expensive fast. I got this camera for $1,500. That is dirt cheap for a mirrorless camera. And it's a crop sensor camera. It's not even a full frame. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are so many tools now out here nowadays where you could get into a decent camera system for about $500-600 on the high end. You could go lower tech, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like. Okay. But I barely use this anymore for talking head content. I really don't, because it has a capture card that goes in the computer. Sometimes the driver screw up. I have to figure out what's going on with the driver. Sometimes the cable just get unplugged. And it's just a lot of different things I got to do. Whereas my other option, I could literally hit record and start talking. And so you're going to see what the other option is. Okay. The real cost of getting one of these cameras is you invest a lot of time. And if you want to take the time to actually learn how to become proficient, more power to you. I want you to go up on that route. But if you're trying to build content to drive business, you may not have that benefit of time. You may need to turn on that camera and get results pretty quickly. And mirrorless cameras aren't necessarily great for that because of the learning curve is, especially if you've never used one before. Okay. The real cost is hours dialing in settings, and it's content you never get to publish. A lot of times when I was getting started in my marketing agency, because I started out as a copywriter and added video, the business took a hit while I was trying to perfect videography and learning how to do things. Outsmarting myself with the gear and figuring out all the bells and whistles and everything and dialing in, making sure the white balance was here and making sure I got the ISO and a lot of other things that you should not have to worry about. I'll be honest with you. Obsessing over gear is a productivity killer and it's disguised as professionalism. I know that once you get into higher end corporate work, sometimes there's a gatekeeper who wants to know what kind of camera system you're shooting on. If you're doing work for like Netflix or anything, there are specific cameras that are approved for Netflix use. And that list is growing all the time because you're starting to see more and more prosumer level models start to infiltrate that list. Okay. But it's a productivity killer, y'all. And you can fall down a large and deep rabbit hole of camera gear. And it serves a lot of the camera gear people fine because you stumble on their channel, you end up clicking one of their links to buy the camera that they're recommending. They get a cut of it and everything's good. That's their business model. I'm not shaming their business model, y'all. What I'm saying is that's what's happening. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna have you guys look at a different way of looking at things. So hold on one moment. So now we switched to my webcam. Now, there is a quality difference. Those that really look hard, you're going to see the quality difference. For the videographers out there, don't kill me. My settings kind of got snafu'd a little bit with the webcam, and so I'm having to adjust. But here's what I'm saying. Is the difference noticeable enough? Because this webcam it was an expensive webcam for a webcam. It was about $199 versus $1,500 for my camera up here. Is it that big of a difference? That's one. Do you think your clients will care? Do you think the audience that you're trying to reach will care about, well, he's not shooting on the expensive mirrorless camera? If they do, then maybe you need to find a new audience, or you may lean into quality, which you may lean into the more expensive models if that's what your audience is demanding. More times than not, for self-generated content, for business owners that are shooting content, good enough is good enough. And so I'm shooting on the Elgato Facecam 4K. It's always plugged in. It has no batteries. I don't have to deal with the capture card. There's no real setup friction. If I need to change any settings, I can jump in the app, tinker with the settings and get it to a look that I like, and I'm ready to go. In under 60 seconds, I'm recording. I can have an idea. I can sit down and I can get in front of the computer screen and start recording. Okay. So the point is, the best camera is the one that you will actually use. Okay. You've seen both. You've seen both comparisons, both images. If you need to go back, you can. All right. The Sony, in my opinion, and it does look better depth of field. The image is a little bit cleaner. I don't know about the colors. It's older color science in the Sony camera. I'm not necessarily worried about that. I can always fix that after the fact. It is 8-bit color, and you don't need to know about that stuff more times than not. It looks better, but the real difference is the difference worth the time for a social post? Is it worth the cost? In my estimation, the webcam is good enough for the social media work that I want to do, which is talking head and stuff to get you guys recording and bring you guys into my system for the media room. That's really what it is. That's what my end goal is. That's what my destination point is. That's where I want this thing to end up. And so I'm not trading out one quality for another. Okay. I'm not trading out quality for speed, especially when, for me, the quality difference is negligible. Now, I'll be 100%. I'm going to be 100%. I'm keeping it 100% with y'all. This is the original OG Elgato Facecam. Initially, I was going to do a video comparing this versus the Elgato 4K, and I had to scrap that video pretty quickly because the upgrade was big enough where it made a difference. And it was obvious enough where I'm like, I can't be out here like that and talking people into this specific camera, specifically when there are other options on the market that you could pay a little bit more for and still get better quality. Okay. But for right now, the Elgato 4K webcam is my good enough package. Right. And good enough makes millions. Perfection makes excuses. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a marketer. Some of the ugliest websites in the history of mankind are making the most money. Aesthetics don't always win. Functionality, form, accessibility, that stuff makes a difference. And the faster you're able to create stuff and get it out there in front of the people that are going to pay you money, that's gonna that's a better choice than to stall for perfection. Your audience doesn't need cinema; they need clarity. Got it? Cool. Gear's not your problem. Your setup might be. And so, to help you guys out, I've created a social media audit to find out what's actually holding your specific setup back. Okay, and it's just it's something you can go through and kind of do a self assessment. Okay. And if you're interested, you can get on my mailing list or whatnot. I will take a lot. I take my live streams or whatnot. I have a lot of information in those, and I make them into newsletters to help you guys get started with your video marketing journey. Um, Also, I take these little snack size bites and turn and actually write them out. Okay, but if you're interested in that, you can get on the mailing list for that. But I also have paid consulting uh, for building home and office studios. I've just finished the major work in a studio locally. And so once I get something set up, I will be showing that to you, hopefully. And I'm looking for other clients of people that want me to consult and kind of tell them what to buy, help them guide them through setting it up, tell them how to mechanically use it, and then tell them best practices for getting the best bang for their buck on posting content on social media. Okay. So that's what I'm offering. And those are my consultative services through the media room. Hopefully, here by May rolling around, I will have my physical studio ready to rock and roll. And I can do a lot more in terms of like classes and shooting on site and setting up sets and everything. My goal is to not only provide video marketing services to business owners, but teach them how to do it themselves so they can be proficient at it. And they don't always need to come to me for stuff. I do have weekly live streams so that you guys can come practice on camera. I do have my school community, which you're going to see, which I'm going to put in the comments as well. If you want a DIY approach where I'm in the school community, kind of coach you and guide you through it. But again, I don't care how you interface with me. I just need you to get started recording, y'all, because the opportunity is out here. If you're interested, go ahead, hit and subscribe. If you're looking to beef up your system or to overhaul your system, go ahead and take that audit. If you want to get in the school community, the link is there. It's the media room. And yeah, if you want to interact with me, I will put my regular website on there if you're interested in consulting. And I can help you out with getting your equipment list, figuring out what to get and how to use it, and then how to maximize it for social media. A lot of this stuff is for business owners because that's who I see struggling with it. But it can be open for your run of the mill content creators if you're serious about getting into this game. Anyway, that's all I got to do. Appreciate y'all. I got to go do the dad thing. I got to go pick up kids from school. So thanks for tuning in. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.